Hi, I'm Lisa Finucane. I live here in Point Chevalier. I'm single and without children, so pretty much what you see is what you get, particularly when it comes to things like income. I'm a public relations consultant and a marketing and communications manager. I like to travel, of course, as we all do, and I probably find that reasonably easy to do. And I was in Sumatra a couple of weeks ago, which was rather fabulous. Obviously the dogs take up a lot of time. I've got one at the moment, but often I'm running a couple of fosters as well. I'm a keen reader. I do a bit of reviewing for the National Radio. I do book reviews. So I first got my income insurance when I was running a small public relations company. So I moved out of my own business into working in-house and for larger organisations, but I've always retained the income insurance. And of course, little did I know how useful that would be. So when I got my income insurance originally, it was when I had my own business, and then when I moved into a full-time job with an Auckland City role. So I was probably on about 90,000 then, and my income in protection was set at, I think, 80% that. Certainly enough money to pay my mortgage and pay my bills and let me live the lifestyle to which I'd like to become accustomed when I can't work. My first experience with income insurance was I had a strange amoeba in my eye, and I did a little bit of part-time work, and of course there's a 3-month stand-down period, so I didn't maximise what I could have with the income insurance. The second time I might have used it, and I got ovarian cancer in 2010, but I was working at the University of Waikato then, and I managed not to have to take much time off. Then again in 2014 my cancer recurred. At this stage I was contracting, so things were a little bit different. So clearly I wasn't in the situation of having an employer who was going, you know, how can we make this work for you as long as you make it work for us? So that's when my income insurance kicked in, and that's when I was hugely, hugely grateful for it. I was re-diagnosed with ovarian cancer. This time it was in my spleen. I just finished a contract, so things worked from a work point of view, things worked pretty well. I had I was in hospital within days of the tumour being identified, and I was in hospital for perhaps 4 or 5 days. So then I went from hospital to home, and then I faced a few months of recovery, and then of course the next 6 rounds of chemotherapy. Now it's hard to get a contract in that kind of environment when you're recovering from reasonably serious abdominal surgery, and of course that's quite hard because you're sort of sliced from here to here and doing your best to walk, let alone go into the office or go into an office and work. Of course the chemo starts, and I'd have to say the second time round the chemo was a lot more debilitating, but it's just that feeling of bleh, which makes it a bit difficult. So I phoned up my income insurance people, and honestly they took over from there, and they were fabulous. I had such a good caseworker. So I had my 3-month stand down, which I knew I had to have, and then so the 3 months after that I lived on savings and the largesse of family and friends to feed the animals. And from then on my insurance kicked in, and it was brilliant. You know, I don't think, again, I'm not very good at paperwork, I'd have to say, so I think I sent my poor caseworker in completely the wrong stuff. She followed up, she got it sorted, she chased up things I hadn't done, she was marvellous. And from then on I had my monthly, or bi-weekly, bi-monthly, whatever it was, payment. So just came in and life carried on as usual, which was fabulous, because not only the recovery and not only through the chemotherapy, where it was just marvellous not to even have to be thinking about bills and how the mortgage was being paid. It was time to heal and time to sort of think about what I was going to do next. The income insurance was, I don't know, invaluable. I can't even begin to say how handy it was, and particularly for someone like myself where there is no other source of income. So I don't have a partner or a husband who's saying, well, that's all right, dear, you carry on being sick and I'll just pay the mortgage. So it's, you know, really, really valuable. And like all insurances, you don't think you need it till you need it. And I must admit, prior to my first dose of cancer, I did look at a reasonable amount of money going out every month and thinking, oh, really, you know, surely if anything happens to me, I'll be in a situation where I'll get ACC or I'll get support or I'll get something. But of course, that's not the case. And so very grateful that I kept that up. Do you know, I started work again on a part-time basis, so I picked up a contract for 20 hours a week, and I thought, well, that's it, and I'll have to go back to living on that 20 hours a week. And my caseworker said, no, you know, we'll now pay you a percentage of of that, because we'll just top you up till you get to that total that we were paying you before. And that was something that she completely instigated. I would have just gone, oh, thanks, I'm off now, appreciate the help. But instead, she talked me all through that. And so then, again, it allowed me to ease back into work gradually. So essentially, what having this income insurance has allowed me to do is to keep living absolutely as I had before. And so I didn't have perhaps the money for absolute extras, but I tell you what, I managed to live, pay my bills, pay my mortgage easily, occasional trip to Australia, go out with people, celebrate birthdays, all the sorts of just normal living things that we do, I just kept on doing.